Hello and welcome to NewsClick's Daily Roundup. I'm Pranjal.
And I'm Prashant, and here are the major stories for the day.
Today we are going to talk about how 2019 Lok Sabha elections are the most expensive elections in the world. The Maharashtra farmers are protesting against the BJP government. The free bus and metro rides for women in Delhi. The protest in Argentina on the issue of violence against women. And protest against Trump in London. Let's have a look at our first story. Our first story is confirmation of what most of us already suspected. The 2019 Lok Sabha elections were the most expensive election in the world. A new report by Center for Media Studies has found that this year's general election cost rupees 60,000 crores, which is $8.7 billion. This is much more than ever, and it is much more than what was spent in 2016 presidential elections in United States, which was $6.5 billion. In India, 15 to 20% of this money was spent by the Election Commission to conduct the elections. Meanwhile, the ruling party BJP alone spent 45% of the total amount, while the opposition Congress spent around 15 to 20%. The report, which was released on June 2, estimated that nearly 700 rupees was spent per vote, and on an average, 100 crore rupees was spent per Lok Sabha constituency. This number, rupees 60,000 crore, is double the amount spent during 2014 elections according to Center for Media Studies. Of the overall amount, nearly 30 to 35% was spent on campaigning itself. Our second story is from Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, the farmers have again returned to the streets to protest against the government. Following a call given by All India Kisan Sabha, thousands of farmers are on the streets in several districts, and they were on the streets on June 1st. It is just 2 days before the newly elected government took office in Delhi. The statewide protests condemned the BJP Shiv Sena government for betraying its promises on issues of drought relief, loan waiver, fair prices, land rights, ration and pension. June 1st was the second anniversary of the historic 11-day statewide farmer strike that took place in 2017. The largest mobilization of 10,000 farmers was in 8 tehsils of Thane and Palghar districts. Impressive rallies also took place in Akole in Ahmednagar district, Kinwat in Nanded district, Sholapur and several other places. Demonstrations and dharna took place in all other 8 districts of Marathwada region, which has been worst affected by the drought. Our third story is from Delhi, where the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has announced that soon women will be allowed to travel for free in public transport, which includes metro and buses. NewsClick spoke to cross sections of Delhi residents to find out what they feel about this issue. Here's what they had to say.
अगर सरकार मुफ्त कर दे मेट्रो का, बस का किराया, तो हम जाते हैं कहीं दूर सफ़र करते हैं तो हम कंफ्यूज होते हैं अगर पैसा नहीं है, कभी बाई चांस पैसा खो जाता है तो टेंशन होता है। अगर ऐसा हो, फ्री मुफ्त हो जाए तो हम लोग को बहुत हेल्प होगा। कितने के होते हैं पति जो पैसे नहीं देते हैं, है ना, ये भी हो सकता है। और पेरेंट्स भी सपोर्ट नहीं करते, अगर हम दूर दूर जाएँ तो बोलते पैसे लगेंगे, ज़्यादा किराया लगेगा, मत जाओ। तो शायद इससे भी अच्छा होगा कि वो कहीं भी जा सकते हैं।
मैं इस चीज़ पे बिलीव करती हूँ कि जिस मेट्रो में जिस जगह पे मेरी मेड ट्रैवल कर सकती है, वहाँ पे मेरी लैंडलेडी भी ट्रैवल करती है। तो जब फेमिनिस्ट हैं वो इक्वालिटी की बात करती हैं वुमेंस के लिए, तो ये भी होना चाहिए। अगर ऐसा होता है तो मेरी मेड भी उसी मेट्रो में ट्रैवल कर पाएगी जिसमें मेरी लैंडलेडी ट्रैवल करती है। इंडिया एक ऐसी कंट्री है जहाँ पे मिडिल क्लास भी है, लोअर क्लास भी है, लोअर मिडिल क्लास भी है और अपर क्लास भी है। तो यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं है कि फैसिलिटीज़ बहुत सारी हैं। अवेलेबिलिटी और असेसिबिलिटी 2 फैक्टर्स होते हैं, है ना। हमारे पास अवेलेबिलिटी तो है लेकिन असेसिबिलिटी नहीं है। हर कोई मेट्रो में ट्रैवल नहीं कर सकता। अगर ऐसा होता है तो वुमेंस और कॉन्फिडेंटली ट्रैवल कर पाएंगी और कॉन्फिडेंटली ओपन अप हो पाएंगी सोसाइटी के साथ।
जो वर्किंग नहीं है उनके लिए ज़्यादा सुविधा होगी, आप देखा जाए तो, क्योंकि वो सोच सकती हैं कहीं भी आने जाने के लिए, क्योंकि वो एज अ जो किराया होता है उसके लिए अपने हस्बैंड पे डिपेंड करती है। हस्बैंड देंगे तो वो जाएंगी, नहीं देंगे तो वो नहीं जा पाएंगी। एज अ वेल वो घर पे ही रह जाएंगी। तो अगर फ्री है मेट्रो का और बस का तो वो जाने के बारे में सोच सकती है ना, क्योंकि वो डिपेंडेबल नहीं है अपने हस्बैंड पे फिर।
In our international section, we go to Argentina, where on June 3rd, tens and thousands of women, lesbians, bisexuals, transgenders and queer people marched on the streets of Buenos Aires, demanding an end to violence related to gender crimes. The march was held on the 4th anniversary of a movement which began in 2015 against such crimes. The protesters demanded the implementation of a law that promised comprehensive sexual education and the adoption of a bill which legalizes abortion. The movement, which began in 2015, was in response to a number of crimes which are a result of male chauvinism. It was launched by a collection of journalists, activists, artists, and others who protested crimes such as rapes and femicides. Soon this became a platform for a larger social movement. Every year since 2015, after this, women have been mobilizing on the streets of Buenos Aires, demanding social rights and equity for all, irrespective of gender. In Argentina, a woman is murdered every 30 hours on account of her gender. There have been nearly 135 deaths in the country in this year alone. A recent report stated that of these crimes, 62% were committed by boyfriends, partners, husbands, or ex-partners. Our second story is from London, where tens and thousands of activists have mobilized to ensure that the city becomes a Trump-free zone as the US President continues his state visit to the United Kingdom. The highlight of this protest has been the Trump baby, a giant orange balloon of the US President wearing a diaper. This balloon first became famous last year when Trump was on a visit to the United Kingdom. The then Mayor of London had refused to give permission for the balloon to fly. However, after nearly 10,000 people signed a petition in support of it, he was forced to relent. This year's protests have been just as feisty. The police have blocked entrance to number 10 Downing Street, where a press conference is expected to be held. However, the protesters are determined and have mobilized near 10 Downing Street with a lot of placards and banners pointing out to various Trump's crimes. Donald Trump, of course, insisted that he had seen none of these protests and all this was fake news. However, the final word on this is believed to be the giant towering blimp which graces the London skyline. The Icc World Cup is on in the UK, and it has seen a number of performances by the underdogs. For instance, Bangladesh beat South Africa, and Afghanistan is performing very well against Sri Lanka. At the same time, this World Cup is also kind of exclusive, with only the key nations being part of the tournament. NewsClick did a discussion on what are the implications of this decision and what is the nature of the teams participating. Here is what they had to say.
Welcome to this ICC Cricket World Cup update on newsclick.in. With me is Leslie Xavier, our sports editor. Leslie, one of the major talking points of the tournament so far has been the exclusion of what are known as associate nations from this World Cup. Basically, anyone outside the top 10 in the ODI rankings is not playing this World Cup. What do you make of this plan, and how do you think it feeds into the ICC's agenda to expand and grow the game of cricket globally?
I personally feel that it's going to hamper cricket's progress in a way, because look at, going by how sides have developed into world beaters in cricket. Let's take, the stars of the World Cup so far, Bangladesh. The people call them underdogs. People call the victory against South Africa as a big surprise and things like that. But looking back at how the team has performed the last 4-5 years, it is very evident that Bangladesh is as arrived, and they are there as contenders, and they are not there as shock producers or upset makers or things like that, which they were in the past, no doubt. From '99, when they debuted in the World Cup, if you look at it, they have had 1 or 2 victories every World Cup, which adds to, which has given them the tag.
Yeah.
But last 1 year, for instance, if you look at their ODI record, they played 23 matches, out of which they won 15. And theirs was the 4th best record among the countries.
All one-day playing countries.
All one-day playing countries, led obviously by England, who are the number 1.
And the reason why these countries, whether it's Afghanistan, Bangladesh, have gotten to where they have today is perhaps because they've had the opportunity to play a lot of cricket against the bigger nations. And the flip side is Pakistan, because of the situation in that country at home, and no country is willing to visit anymore. They are not getting to play as much cricket as they used to, and therefore the perhaps decline which led to one of the Ireland cricketers' brothers tweeting actually the other day that his brother scored in a one-day international game more than Pakistan scored, the entire Pakistan squad scored against the West Indies. So how is this playing out in real terms?
The thing is, Pakistan, in real, so let's go to the past a little bit, where India's turnaround came in world cricket. That was 1983. So before 1983, the stats show that India had played 40 ODIs, out of which they only managed to win one, and one World Cup match ever before the 83 turnaround that happened. And after that, the number of matches India have played, and how India, where India is right now, be the top dogs. So the same thing applies to all countries across sport. It's not just cricket. The more you play, the better you become.
We'll, I think, wrap up this chat here on the note that, of course, India's press conference, pre-match press conference has been boycotted by the press corps because they landed up at the press conference and found the net bowlers there instead of the captain and the coach. So this is the kind of, it seems like a sense of perhaps arrogance or entitlement that seems to be washing over this country, where everyone who is in a position of power seems to be exercising it in whatever random manner they want. But stay tuned to NewsClick. We have a show out, a cricket show, 575 ounces. That's out every Saturday. We'll be talking about these issues and a whole lot more there.
That's all we have for today's daily roundup, and we'll be coming back only on Thursday. To follow detailed reports on all of these news, follow our website newsclick.in, our YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.